Okay, we're going to go to the chief right now. Chief Batiste has an update for us.
Right now, we do have persons of interest. We gave you guys some information earlier of a young man that we thought was involved or was a suspect in this particular incident. We have taken that individual into custody at this time. We are, at this point, getting ready to take him to headquarters and to do an interview with him. Our officer that was shot, he is doing well. We're thankful that his injuries are not life-threatening. We're thankful for the commitment that he has to this city, and we're thankful to his wife and his sons for allowing him to do the job that he do for us. And we're just thankful in general that we were able to take this individual off the streets tonight. He showed by his actions that he didn't mind hurting people, in particular hurting law enforcement, and if he would hurt us, he would hurt anybody in this community. And so we're certainly thankful that we have the person of interest that we believe that's responsible for committing this atrocious act against the law enforcement officers in custody at this time. And we're going to ask that the district attorney's office take the most stringent action that they could possibly take in making sure that we hold him accountable for his actions, and so that he will not have an opportunity to hurt anybody else in this community.
Were there any issues when you took him into custody?
There was no injuries. We were able to take him into custody without causing any injuries or harm to him or to any of our other officers as we took him into custody this evening.
You keep referring to him as a person of interest. Do you guys have reason to believe he's a suspect and he's the person who opened fire on the officer?
Well, until we have an opportunity to truly investigate him, this is we're out on a crime scene. Of course, I have not had a chance to lay eyes on him. And again, I do not want to misinform the public about what we're doing, and until I've had an opportunity to be briefed on the interviews and everything else that needs to take place, I want to make sure that I am not misleading the public about what we have and what's going on at this particular location. So I would ask that you be patient, give us an opportunity to thoroughly do our job, so that when we bring this to a complete conclusion, that the information that I've shared with you guys is accurate, and there's no question about what we did and how we did our job.
Are these neighborhoods still on lockdown?
We are about to release the area for normal traffic flow. We thank everybody for being patient with us, and particularly as we diverted traffic in this area on this evening. And that was something that that was needed, but again, it was done in an effort to make sure that we kept the community safe and nobody else got hurt this evening.
Now, you said the officer fired shots. The guy you have in custody, is he injured at all?
At this time, there does not appear to be any injuries that I'm aware of to the suspect.
As people go to bed tonight, should they feel safe that somebody is in custody through the one who fired on your officer?
I think that as people go to bed tonight, they'll be thankful that they have a law enforcement agency like the Mobile Police Department and the men and women that are committed to do their job, work tirelessly this evening to make sure they took a dangerous suspect in our community off the streets. And I believe that they can rest a lot easier tonight as a result of the actions of the men and women of the Mobile Police Department.
Chief, you've been out here for hours. Your guys have been out here for hours. How much work went into this tonight?
Well, there's probably 50 or more officers here. We're thankful to the Sheriff's Office for the hand that they lent us in coming out, and all of the other agencies that reached out to us and asked if we needed any additional personnel. Thankful to all of the other precincts that also lent a hand in making sure that we tried to cover all the calls for services, because as we were carrying out this operation, there were things that still needed to be done in the city. There were still calls coming in for other crimes that could have potentially be happening here in the city. And again, our men and women, they all pitched in, and of course everybody wanted to be here because one of our own was injured. Everybody wants to be at that point where they can lend their support, but again, everybody took their assignment and they did it to the best of their ability. And again, it's just a testament to the men and women that work here.
So you're proud of how your officers responded to all of this?
I am always proud of the men and women that work for this department.
Where did you locate the suspect? Was he inside a house?
We've gotten calls again. If you'll give me time to look back at everything, we'll update. Most likely do an update first thing in the morning to get the exact location where he was taken into custody at. You know, as you guys heard while you were on the scene here, we were bouncing from one area to another, and of course, every lead that we got, as we talked about earlier, the first time I came out, if you see something, say something. We got a number of calls, and as people made those phone calls, we tried to follow up on them, and of course, again, because of the commitment to people making phone calls, we were able to do this job the way it needed to be done tonight.
Before we lose you, you said that the wife was aware, and you told us a little bit more about he has a family, a son. Can you tell us anything more about the officer?
Again, as I shared earlier, he's outstanding veteran to this department. He was recently promoted to the rank of corporal, and of course he's committed to serving this community. And again, the sacrifice that not only that he makes, but that his family makes, we're thankful for that, and we're thankful that again that his injuries are not life-threatening injuries, and we're going to pray that his family will heal and overcome this incident, and he'll come back to work as quickly as he possibly can to continue to combat crime in this community.
Now, there were some high school football games in the area here. How did you guys go about notifying people there about what's going on?
Well, obviously, you know, we didn't interrupt the ball game, but we had teams of officers in that area to provide some additional security. And so the goal was to make sure that they were able to carry out what they were doing this evening as well without interrupting what was going on, I guess, the first round of high school playoffs. But our goal, again, is to make sure that we place resources where they need to be so that people can enjoy the quality of life that they're looking for in this community. And